So hello there guys, this is Nani. I'm so here from the Crypto Doctor, and I'm going to be reviewing the Jury.Online ICO today. So first of all, I'm going to first talk about what Jury.Online is in a short bit. Then I'm going to go over to the spreadsheet to show you an overview of everything about Jury.Online and what you expect to see. So you can definitely go down in the description to find all links, and I'll put also timestamps to every part that matters mainly, and then you can jump to exactly what you want to find at the appropriate time. So let's get down to Jury.Online. So first of all, I want to explain slightly what Jury.Online intends to do, or what Jury.Online is all about. So given that they've dedicated about 21 pages of their white paper to just talking about what they do or explaining how they work, I thought I'll go through what they do briefly and give you an overview. But if you intend to go into using Jury.Online, I advise you check out the white paper and read about it. So first of all, Jury.Online intends to be the future of dispute resolution. Now, not just dispute in the first place, in the sense that they're going to have, you can make deals on it. So I want to buy something, or I want to make a transaction, and I come and make a deal using Jury.Online between myself and somebody. Now, reasons why they felt this was necessary: because of charges, because of fees of making transactions around the world, and different kind of stuffs. Now, also for security. So some of the things you could expect is you come onto the Jury.Online platform, and then you make a deal between you and a person, and then you put the money for that deal in escrow. For instance, you want to buy a fridge, and then you put the money for that purchase in an escrow, such that when everything is done, everybody gets paid. But in the sense where there's a dispute now, or a problem, you can raise a dispute ticket or something between you and this person, and Jury.Online now makes the resolution between both of you go well. Now, a set of jurors or jury, the jury will be chosen from a set of qualified people that have signed themselves up onto the Jury.Online platform to be able to do the function of resolving this issue. So the function of the jurors in this case is to make research on the given case and to give their 2 cents, or to give their judgment on what they think or who is at fault, or generally to decide a judgment on it. Now, how will they decide this judgment? They will decide by making their research, choosing different parameters to analyze the information that you have provided. For instance, the person did not submit on time, or you did not get the product, and they will analyze it and provide it. Now, this makes it possible that these jurors could just decide and choose that, okay, we want to go in favor of this person. But in this case, all the jurors are chosen in an anonymous fashion, so everybody is on its own, is on their own. So I don't know who the next juror working on this case is, so I can't, because everything on this system works with a smart contract. So once you want to get acquainted with Jury.Online, I'll advise that you get acquainted with the use and the functionalities of a smart contract, because everything is going to be a smart contract. So these jurors will decide, and then they will submit their points. And now, as you know, on the blockchain, it takes up to 51% of acceptance for something to go right. So I'm guessing the same thing will be in the case of using of Jury.Online, where you will have to get the jurors to decide, more than 51% of them, to decide on a particular part that will now be used as the accepted judgment or the accepted point. Now, who pays for these transactions? Now, the person putting it in, first of all, puts an amount for the work done to pay for these transactions to be done, and then you could decide to make different changes in the form of deciding that, okay, the other person will share the payment, or the person at fault will have to pay for the whole thing. But generally, the way the system of judgment works in the real world is being implemented onto the blockchain using the sense of smart contracts. So these jurors, now the main question is, what incentivizes me as a jury member not to make a fake or a wrong decision? Now, what incentivizes a jury member is the fact that they are going to be rated, so they don't want to lose their rating due to a wrong choice, or they're also going to get paid for this reason. So incentive for the jury to stay on the platform. So if they're going to get paid, it means they have to make a better decision and have to go in and make better research and all. Because now in the case of an appeal, for instance, the ruling goes against you and you want an appeal, you can make an appeal, and this appeal will now have to be watched over by a higher authority, for instance a more experienced judge or a higher judge, which will cost more, but I guess that's what you have to pay for better or higher case studies. But it's quite big, and I would advise, if you really want to get into the works and nitty-gritties of Jury.Online, reading the white paper would be advisable. Now I'll go through the team quite fast and then move on to the spreadsheet. So the team contains a lot of developers, and then the other part of the team, the COOs, the PR, the business, marketing, and so on and so forth. So they have it all. But the main question people on the blockchain ask is, who is an all-star and who is not an all-star? Now you could call them all-stars, but I feel most of these people are all-stars in their various endeavors in life, but they might not be so big names in cryptocurrencies. And from what I understood from even what an interview I watched about the CEO, he said they don't see popularity as a measure of how good an ICO is, but as just a measure of how much money they could have to employ more people. I understand that credibility might come with the use of better or more experienced people, but this is just not what the ICO of Jury.Online believes. So these are the advisors, and here we have the roadmap. So now let's move over to the spreadsheet. So now on the spreadsheet we have Jury.Online. The token for Jury.Online is supposed to be the JOT token. Now the audience for Jury.Online is the justice sector and business services, in the sense of you want to have your business transaction with someone, and the person overseeing it is going to be Jury.Online. And then for the justice sector, now it's a platform and also it has a protocol. Now about description, dispute resolution, decentralized dispute resolution is the main goal, but they also have other functionalities. It's an ERC20 token, so built on the Ethereum platform, on the Ethereum protocol. Mining, it is not going to be mined at all, so not possible for mining in the near future or in any future. So the quantity created now is going to be the last amount, and just purchase and distribution. Now know your customer. Now this wasn't actually stated that they want to know your customer, but it was implied, because now for a juror to be able to provide that they are credible enough, they have to provide proof, which then gets to knowing your customer eventually. So I implied that knowing your customer is a relevant part to it, and also for you to be able to create disputes and be able to win on it, that also should apply. Now the ICO price is $1.2, which is quite high. I don't know why it's not in red. It's supposed to be in red. Let me change this 1 minute. So the ICO price is quite high, $1.2, which they use to they set different prices. During the pre-ICO you get it for 0.003 Ethereum per one JOT token, and during the ICO, which is coming up soon, you get it for 0.0045 Ethereum per one. And I used mathematical calculation to always update this, so it will continue to get updated. As you can see, it's now 1.22. So here we have the hard cap, and the hard cap was estimated in Ethereum as well, 24,284 Ethereum, which then sums up to $7.2 million, which isn't so bad, because we've had some ICOs calling some very bogus prices for the hard cap. So next we have the token sold. We are going to get 7,000 tokens sold. Now the way they are going to do this token sales is going to be a bit different from how we understand it. Generally companies will say we'll sell 70% and the rest will remain to us, but the way they calculate this is, if they sell 7 JOT tokens, then 3 JOT tokens will automatically be given to the JOT team. So 7 to 3, in ratio of 7 to 3. So for in every 10 tokens, 3 goes to the company and 7 goes to the person buying this. So for every 7 JOT tokens, for every 10 JOT tokens, 3 goes to the company and 7 goes to the person making the purchase in this sense. Now next we have the total supply. We have the total supply of 10 million tokens, which are going to be distributed as stated in the notes here. Now current supply, nothing to be said about that, and so on. Now we have 70% shared. Now minimum amounts raised. Now this is the amount, the minimum amount to be raised, $3 million as they said, but actually it is calculated in JOT tokens, which was, or in Ethereum, which was supposed to be 14,285 Ethereum is what they expect to raise, which as at today's price is calculated using the daily price of Ethereum as at today to be, it's $3,680. So that is it. Now incentivization, not really, but just for in the sense of incentives for the jury, in the form of payments for the jury. Now the pre-ICO is already over, but it took place from the 23rd of October and ended on the 3rd of November. Now discount was 30% as at the time, and the minimum investment was 6.08, which was 5 JOT tokens. 5 JOT tokens the minimum. Now payments can be made in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and also in fiat. Now we have the day of the ICO is on the 13th of November, which as of today is the 8th of November, so coming soon. And then the end of the ICO is going to be on the 13th of December. So you can check that out. Now tokens adjustments, yes, tokens will be adjusted. Now this is the exact place found in the white paper, so you can go exactly to section 4.4 and you find this information about commissions that will be taken, and then how much of those tokens will be burnt eventually, and all the extra information. But half of the commissions received by JOT tokens or in JOT tokens will be burnt, which then makes it deflationary, I guess, eventually leading to more tokens and less tokens and an increase in the value of the coin due to this fall in tokens. Now when you get tokens was not stated or written in black and white. It was stated during the interview in which they said they intend to give the tokens when they have the chance, but after the pre-ICO they'll start distributing tokens as soon as possible. Now token tradability after tokens have been released or after they've been added to exchanges. Now we know how difficult it is for ICO coins to be added to exchanges because of most of these exchanges are centralized, and then makes it difficult, and decentralized exchanges are not the best in use. Now we have some extra information that I was able to get from it. Now we have getting judges on board not properly worked out. Now most judges are going to be busy most time of the day, and in Jury.Online you need this person to be online, and to get a credible person to be able to do this work, you need to be able to give them as much incentive as possible, which I think will now counter the issue of having to be able to pay cheaper for judgment. But in cases of people who don't have a law court or a justice system in place at the immediate sense, that might be something that will work for them. So I don't know, what do you think about this part of getting judges online? Now we can get people who want to use the platform because, okay, I have a dispute that I want to resolve, but who is going to be a credible juror for completing this? Now we have the jury pool. Now a company can decide to pick up a set of jurors and then register them under them which will now be used to add them onto the jury. So there'll be a pool, like a set of a company or umbrella of people that will be used as a set of juries for each part. So juries will be pulled from different pools, and so on and so forth. Then the paranoid mode. Now, if you're in paranoid mode and you just don't believe that smart contracts will be able to help you pick out the exact judges that will give you the best for your work, then all you do is you actually decide to make your own picks and so on and so forth. But as I said, this is going to be a lot of work and will enforce that you understand how smart contracts work and their implementation, which most people in cryptocurrencies just don't. Now, for the team, I gave them a 4. I've met some of the members of the team right here in Ukraine doing the what do you call it? The BBC, the Bitcoin Blockchain Conference, Kiev 2017, and we had some discussions. I tried to get a video, but didn't get the audio, so that was a bummer for me. But I feel that the team really believes in what they're working on, and they've put themselves out there in relation to their project. They have connected with the project, and you can see that they have LinkedIn's and Facebook contact information to where they can be found outside their platform. Now, for the community was quite weak. Now, they have a lot of social media where they have information put up about their project, but just not so many people actually following this. Now, I could say when I watched the interview, some of the questions that came up opened up something that we all know about in cryptocurrencies, which is people are just here first of all to make money before the revolution. So everybody wants to first get rich and then next, because some of the questions were, how do we get rich, or how do I make money using the Jury.Online ICO? And no, but most people were not asking about. There are people that actually asked about how Jury.Online functions in the long run, but most people were mainly based on when they will get the tokens for selling, when they'll be able to cash out, and so on and so forth, and how much perspective does this company have on becoming big and all those things. So the community here the community doesn't really understand, I believe, what Jury.Online stands to offer. That now brings me to the issue of timing. Now, Jury.Online might be a good project, which brings me to the idea I give them a 3, because they actually believe in their project, and the project is something that can work. Now, it has a lot of competition from the real world, but it has a lot to offer. But the problem is this the right time for Jury.Online? The timing, is it the exact time when we need it, or is it just something that we need in the future? Now, that is something. What do you think? Is this the time for Jury.Online or not? Now, the roadmap, as we've seen already, stated different points, intends to end by 2018 winter, getting into 2019. That's where the roadmap set up stops, and you can read up on what the roadmap talks about. But I give them a 1.5. Now we have something to show. Now what they are showing is just the proof of concept, what they have as their conceptual idea of what they intend to do with their platform. Then we have competition. Now they seem to have a lot of competition, because think about it, the judgment system in the world already works. Yeah, it has flaws, but it's still functional. And at the long run, it matters a lot, but we're not yet there until we see a failure in the judgment system, which it has, but not to everyone. Until we have a mass number of people wanting something different, we won't get this mass adoption of this platform. Then I will now be running up with popularity and securities. It is not a popular how do I explain it? ICO. in general. They don't even believe in being too popular, as stated on the video on their Facebook page. And for securities, there's no statement of this ICO being a security according to the listed information I have here. So this has been the spreadsheet information, and I'll try to put a link to this spreadsheet, a comment only link in the description, so that you can comment on places where you don't understand, or places where you would want more clarity. And if you would like to assist with the completion of this spreadsheet, as you can see, I've gone a long way but still have some loading sections per se. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Do leave your comments down below on what you think about Jury.Online, if it's a credible platform, and if it actually has the potential to make a difference in the world today. Thank you very much. This has been Nani Emsu from the Crypto Doctor, signing out.